Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to America's home of racing. This means we are at Charlotte for round two of season two, and we are looking forward to action-packed race as the guys are just finishing off practice. We'll run through the track uh, details. Of course, it's 1.45 miles in length, 2.34 kilometres, 4 turns, and we are in the city of Concord in the good old US of A. Weather conditions tonight, it's a little bit warm out there, 20 air temp 26 degrees, with the track temp at 27, so it's a little bit warm on the track at the moment. The wind is blustery. It's around 14, 15 up to 16 kilometres an hour, and we're very delighted to see league owner out there, or ANZCAR's owner, Mr. Ed Foster, heading out for his first lap in qualifying. So we'll bring up the top five up there at the moment. So live timing is up if anyone would want to check on it. Been informed tonight that it's very loose in 1 and 2 and it tightens right up in 3 and 4. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting race tonight. So Ed's coming around to finish his first flying lap off, and we'll see where that he puts him. Well, right at the moment, that puts Ed down in 14th position, so it's not a real good night for him at the moment. On top at the moment, it's Perry Anazakis, and his best is a 30.52. Second at the moment, as we talk, Brent Hobbs just goes to the top of the table with a 30.3. Some quick times coming out at the moment. So we'll jump in and see what Mr. Jones is doing here. I'll just jump on board with Ryan here. As you can see on the gyro cam, it's quite a nice little banking on this track, and the lights are already on, so it should cool off reasonably quick. So that puts Ryan after his first flyer down in 24th position. Let's hope he can move up the ladder a little bit. I've actually just lost him. That second lap has actually put Ryan Jones to the top of the table with a 30.294. So here we are wrapped with that. And at the moment it's Ryan Jones, Ed Foster, Luke Traher, with still a minute and a half to go in qualifying. Looks like most of these guys have done. Brad Fenley is out there. So I didn't see that one. Jai Schultz has just popped to the top of the table with a 30.284. Just 1/100th of a second over second place at the moment, Ryan Jones. That time there of the 33.1 has put Brad Finley down in 32nd. I don't think he's going to improve any there. No, he stays in 32nd place for the start of tonight's race. Josh Mickelmore is done, but he's sitting there. Nigel, Jack Barrett, Matthew Raymond, Kobe Jordan, Brett Campbell, Adam Terrace and Kai Turner. Looks like they are not going to set a time because we are running down to the last 2 seconds. So those drivers there have decided not to set a time. So we can see the boys lining up here. We'll run through the grid as it sits at the moment. So Joy Schultz and Ryan Jones share the front row. Ed Foster, Luke Trahere on the second row. Mark Smith, Carl Whitty. That's unusual for Carl. He's actually got a real good time out there, and he's up in the third row. Fourth row, Matt Patton and Brenda Henderson. Fifth row, Paul Drady, Andrew Dyson. Sixth row, Aidan Schultz, Nigel Patton. Denny G and Brett Hobbs share the seventh row. Eighth row, Lachlan Urkleo and Sean Dookie. Row 9, Jamie Nankervis, Perry. Row 10, Norman Clark, Simon Hederscheid. Row 11, Andy J. Barber and Chris Finley. 12th row, Stephen Williams, Ruben Phelps. 13th row, Wesley Close, Gary Willman. 14th row, Tristan Koch, Josh Mickelmore. 15th row, Darren McKenzie, Greg Spencer. 16th row, Peter Gretton and Brad Finley. And then we don't have anyone else there because they did not set a time. So as we see the guys move off, I'm not sure whether they do 1 or 2 laps here for roll around. So they'll only do the 1 roll around lap as the lights are out on the pace truck, and this should be a very, very good race with so many trucks here. I think it's almost a full field tonight. 39 trucks to take the green flag, but we're just not seeing Kai Turner out there to take the checkered flag. So let's hope he does get into this race, and because I know Kai will be looking for a good race and a good result tonight. So pace truck's about to leave. We'll jump on board with the starter cam, and we'll watch Barney wave the green flag to come down to start, and they're away. We are green for round 2 of the trucks. And Jai's been able to hold on to the race lead, but he's been pressured tonight by straight away by Ryan Jones. So be interesting to see how this battle goes, because Ryan Jones is the Mr. Action Man. Third is Ed Foster. Fourth is Luke Trahere. Fifth is Mark Smith, and Paul Drady's been able to close up behind his teammate. Danny G from Mitch Motorsports is there, and we are already too wide between Brenda Henderson and Carl Whitty. And Dyson's there, so he'll be looking at trying to get past these guys as quick as he can. And we might just stay with this action at the moment, where Carl's getting a little bit swamped. I know the tyres take 2 or 3 laps to come up to temp here tonight, so we'll just see if Carl cannot bleed too many more positions. A little bit further in the Andy J. Barber there in the 194. Looks like an interesting paint scheme. So Andy's having one of his few runs here tonight. Peter Gretton is still running his ANZAC livery, but nevertheless it's still a great paint, and it was for the animals that served through the walls. Jump back up front here with Jai, still out in the lead, and he's been able to pull almost a second already in 5 laps on second place man Ryan Jones. Mr. Foster still sitting there in 3rd place, and this is a great bunch of guys running just behind Ed. We've got Luke Trahere, Mark Smith, Paul Drady, Danny G. And Carl's been able to stop the bleeding and remaining in the top 10. But rounding out the top 10 is Andrew Dyson. But look who's behind him. We've got some angry guys there. Lachlan Urquio, Jamie Nankervis, and Stevie Williams, and Nigel Patton also in there. So Stevie will be trying to get up to the back of Mr. Dyson and look at starting to work through this field. Nice little move from Stevie Dubb on the outside of Nigel Patton, but he's come up onto the back. He's gone on the high side here. Oh, he's got a little bit taily. He's been able to get past Jamie Nankervis in the number 8 truck there, the Looney Tunes truck. And now he'll be starting to work on the back of Lachlan Urquio. Jump back up the front. Jai Schultz has actually now got nearly a second and a half on Ryan Jones. The action is really here from 3rd through to 8th. So 10 laps of 100, and everyone seems to be settled down nicely. Jai Schultz, as I said, is really checked out. He's now got nearly a 2-second gap over Ryan Jones, and then it's a further just half a second back to Mr. Foster in 3rd place. Luke Trahere is right there on the back of Foster. We've just seen some red sections come up here, but doesn't look like anything's happening back here. It's just all nice and calm now. everyone's got the first couple of laps under their belt, but Josh Mickelmore making a move there on the inside from Sean Dookie. As we can see now, Denny G's made a great move. He's now up in the 5th spot from his starting position, which I can't remember what it was, but he's done a great job to drive through the field. He come from down the back. We'll jump up now with Ed Foster and Ryan Jones. Ed is now really hammering the back of Ryan Jones's truck there as he's closed right up, but this is also allowing now Jai Schultz to get out to a 2.5 second gap over these 2nd and 3rd place runners. It's just come back a little bit now. It's back down under 2.5 seconds, but it's a great run by Jai out there all by his lonesome. We'll have to see what type of alternate scheme he pulls off for stops tonight. And now Stevie Williams has been able to close up onto the back of Andrew Dyson, so that's both DPR cars together now. But they it's a little gap still between them. Just got it. Well, we're under caution. I just heard something in the background, and we'll go back to see what we can find there. It looks like Gary Willman and Josh have come together. We'll just see what we have here. Josh has just got down below that pole line and got really loose, and Gary really had nowhere to go, so into the side, and unfortunate for both Josh and Gary. So that will bring out our first caution of the night on lap 17. And by the looks of it, most of the guys have come into the pits. So Jai's in the pits, Ryan Jones is in the pits, so they'll all be taking tyres, I'd say, or just topping up. Yep, tyres. So that's the whole field down pit lane for a stop and fuel on lap 17. So this will stretch it out a little bit further. As you can see, the race is 100 laps tyre sets are unlimited, and the fuel range is between 40 and 50, 45 and 50 laps for this race tonight. So everyone's back on the even keel, and would have taken a full tank of fuel and 4 tyres. So we can see there on the pit stop, first through to 19th has taken a stop, then the rest of the field has also come down pit lane. A few of them would have got some slight repairs done, because it's very easy to find the outside wall here at Charlotte. So some people, as we can see, Carl has dropped completely down to 31st. So unfortunate for Carl, not a very good night for him. He's started in the 6th, and he's dropped all the way down. So we'll jump back up the front. So we'll do one more lap under the pace truck, and we'll keep an eye on when those lights go out on the truck, because we will go back green racing. By the looks of it, this will be our, yep, lights are off on the pace truck, so we will go green next time by. So we might jump on board and have a race start with Simon Hedderscheid back in 9th place, so we can see what type of start he can make. So again, everyone will be on cold tyres, full tank of fuel, so it'll be just like starting the race all over again. Mark Smith is the truck in front of him, and his teammate Paul Drady to the outside of him. So you'll see very shortly the pace truck will pull to pit lane, and then it'll be up to Jai Schultz to decide when he wants to start. And as you can see, ladies and gents, you can't really see anything out the front of the truck, because you're right up under the tail, and the green has gone. A little touch there on Steve Andrew Dyson from Hedderscheid, and it's just put him back a little bit, and it's checked up the rest of the field. And Jai is again out to nearly half a second gap already, but Mr. Foster is there in second. He's been able to get past Jones. Jones is third. Luke Trahere fourth. Danny G in 5th, but he's getting a move done on him by Andrew Dyson around the outside. So now Andrew Dyson is now up into 5th. Danny G back to 6th. Mark Smith is 7th. Brendan Henderson 8th. Stevie Williams 9th, and Paul Drady is your top 10. Bit of action here between Nigel Sittingham, Greg Spencer, Josh Mickelmore and Chris Finley. So again, we've been treated by some great racing all the way through the field, and it's hard to keep up and decide to where to look. But we are now back with the leader, Jai Schultz. I'm just checking in with Jai's teammates. Peter Gretton down in 35th. Kobe Jordan up into 29th. And I believe that is the only 2 teammates he's got out there tonight. Foster has only got himself out there tonight. The Black Arrows cars of Jamie Nankervis, who's running that Looney Tunes truck, and Norman Clark from Black Arrows. There I've only got Nigel Patton between them, so it won't be long before they team up. And we can see there the Darren McKenzie and Perry battling it out there for 17th and 18th. This is the battle at the moment for the tail end of the top 10, from Luke Trehare through to Paul Drady there in the 10th spot. Andrew Dyson's closing in very quickly on the back of Ryan Jones, so Ryan is going to come under a little bit of pressure here, and Ed Foster is only half a second up the road from these two, and Jai Schultz has just put a lap down on Jack Barrett, so Jack is now the first car a lap down, and he was involved. Sorry, that was Gary Willman in the 45 car. So that car is still carrying a lot of damage from that incident before. As you can see, the front of that truck, it's definitely slightly used. And we just seen there Dyson make the move on Ryan Jones to take over third place. Now the next person in Dyson's set of eyes would be Mr. Foster. Ed's running just in front in the red truck, the red Ford. So these guys will be set and to around lap 67, unless we get a caution. Lap 67 would be the first time someone's going to come down pit lane for a service, and that will just about see him home. So I would say most of these guys will stay out there, run this tank dry, come in, top it right up, put a fresh set of tyres, Goodyears on it, and out, and they should make it home from there. Just jump back to the back of the field there, the 015 of Brett Campbell, running that lovely gold car for the Golden Octopus Foundation. Can't say enough about them. They support the kids with cancer, all types of cancer. So again, yeah, I know we keep saying it, but if you've got any spare cash, just head over and make a small donation as we give Brett a plug, and he finds the outside wall for us. So Matt Patton there in the 587, but it's again, it's only showing up the 58. So the field's spread out a little bit now. So the SRM car of the 06, Ruben Phelps, up in the 12th position now, when Jamie and Nigel Payton running there with him. Paul Drady and Mark Smith still in the top 10. Brenda Henderson in 8th. Stevie Williams and Denny G having a little bit of a battle with each other. Then up the road a little bit, it's Luke Trahere. He's almost out by himself. Ryan Jones is still there in 4th place. Andrew Dyson now has, we've just come down to see Ed Foster and Dyson take over past Joy Schultz. Foster now out in the lead, and Schultz is fighting back on the outside. He doesn't want to give up those 2 spots too easy. Dyson's got it done now, so again Schultz is fighting back on the outside. those tyres of Joyce must be dropped off a fair bit, because he's now lost 3 positions in a matter of 5 laps. So maybe he's just pushed that a little bit too hard early and taken the best out of those tyres. But we have seen Joy in other leagues come down and pull an alternate strategy and still come home in a very strong spot. So by the looks of it, nearly half race distance, and we've lost 3 drivers. By the look of it, that have taken their trucks behind the wall, and that's Matt Patton, Peter Gretton, and Brett Hobbs. Gary Willman is still out there circulating, but with a very, very damaged car, as we can see here on this shot. Not only the nose is very bent, the right-hand side of the vehicle is also all bent up. But we'll go back to the front here. Jai Schultz is now down to 6th position. So, Sarah, if you can give us any insight on it, on what's happened to him, whether it's just his tyres that have gone away, or has he had an issue elsewhere. But these front 4 now are starting to really close up again to each other. So these front 3 now are right on each other's nose and tail, and Luke Trehare will be joining them soon to make it a 4-way battle. And it won't be long before Denny G's back up there too, so it'll be a 5-way battle. And we can just see there in the background, Jai Schultz has dropped back down to 6, and he's under pressure now from Stephen Williams and Mark Smith. And Paul Drady is having a battle there with Brenton Henderson to round out the top 10. The 11th is Ruben Phelps. Darren McKenzie has made his way up into 12th, and he's fighting with Lachlan Erclio, Jamie Nankervis and Nigel Patton. So we'll go back up the front to keep an eye on what's going on. And we've done that just in time with to see Dyson trying to make a move around the outside. Ed will not give up that spot too easy. You can see him come side by side for nearly half a lap now. So So we're just over half race distance, and we've had 3 or 4 changes for the lead now, and Dyson has now taken the lead. Foster second, Jones third. Luke Traher has just dropped off that little bit, but is going to start to fall into Denny G's grasp very shortly. Stevie Dubb has got past Joy Schultz, and Mark Smith hanging tough on the inside, trying to get the job done on him. So it's doesn't look good for Joy tonight. I'd say, as I said earlier, I think he's just pushed that little bit too hard and taken the best out of those tyres. So he'll be looking at getting down pit lane. So they've got around 45 laps. So Joy could come in on lap 55, and he should be able to make it home. Just seen, I think that was Gary Willman back in the pits, yep. And he's got it all crossed up, but we'll head back out to the front, see what's going on. And Edward Dyson has actually checked out now and has got nearly half a second over Ed Foster. So, by the looks of it, yep, Josh Schultz is in, so he's opted for that alternate. Going to try for the undercut here. So he's in, pulled up on the mark perfectly. Right side's done. Lefts are up. So that should give Joy fuel and tyres to the end. As we can see back up front, that this battle at the front has closed up again. Foster is closing in on Dyson, and we'll be looking at putting another move back on him. So unfortunately for Joy, doing that early pit stop has taken him down a lap, but he will get that back when these leaders come in. So Norman Clark has been in through the pit for service. Tristan Scotch has been in. Jack Barrett has come in for a service. Looks like Lockie's staying, just may have touched the wall there, just got a red up against him, and he's carrying a lot of damage down that right side now. So Ruben Phelps has taken the dip on lap 60, and he's in for a service. So that will see him to the end. So a lot of cars coming down pit lane now. We can have a quick look. Ryan Jones is in, so he's pulled the pin out of P3 and come down pit lane. So I wonder when Dyson and Foster will be down. I'd say if Dyson comes down, Foster may come down to cover him off, or he may just try and push that one more lap. But we've seen in recent times these DPR boys can fuel save, so and keep the speed in the cars. So we'll see if they can do that tonight with the truck. So there's 19 cars still to take their final pit stop. Everyone else has been in through the pit lane. So at the moment we've only got 17 cars on the lead lap. So these guys would be now getting down to almost oily rags on the in the fuel tank, unless they've been able to get the basketball in there and fix that. But it looks like Foster's taking the going to come down pit lane. So Foster has pulled the pin, so he's come down pit lane on lap 67. Dyson and Traher has stayed out. Danny G has stayed out. Mark Smith and Stevie Williams. Perry Anazakis has still to pit. So Dyson has now pulled the pin, and we just see Joyce Schultz go around the outside of Dyson there. So that will put him back onto the lead lap. Oh no, he's made a boo-boo of that. He crossed it all up and slid, so that is going to cost him dearly. So he's made a boo-boo on the way into the stall, and now he's out. Mark Smith is in pit lane out of the lead. So that will give the lead to Lachlan Urquio. There's still 6 cars to take their final stop. Mark Smith is in pit lane, so this may see Joyce Schultz back to the top of the field, to the pointy end. So that's Lachlan done. He's in the pit lane for his final stop. And when, as I just say that, Joyce passed him, so he has got the lead back. So Ryan Jones is second Ed Foster in third. Darren McKenzie now up into fourth. Brenton Henderson in the fifth. Ruben Phelps in the sixth. Josh Micklemore into seventh. Luke Trahere into eighth. Andrew Dyson has fallen back to 10th, and Paul Drady there in the first of the Lucas Oils trucks rounds out your top 10. So 30 laps to go is still really anybody's race. There's only a 300th of a second gap between Schultz and Jones, and then Foster's 3 seconds back from that. So Ed's got some work to do, but at the moment, if he can keep this pace, he'll finish in the top 3. The last lap, Foster was nearly a whole second quicker than Jai Schultz, and we have a change there. So Ryan Jones has been able to get past Jai Schultz. Jones is on six lap younger tyres than Jai, so he's been able to put them to good use. And as we were talking, we were saying that Foster was 3 seconds off the lead. It's now down to 2.5 seconds back in third. So he is closing. He still is nearly a second faster than the two guys in front. So we can see there on that screen that Foster is definitely closing in on Jai, and he's closing in very quickly on our race leader. So Foster has now got past Jai Schultz for second place. His eyes will be all set on that number 11 truck of Ryan Jones to close in on that, and it's now down to under 2 second gap. So Foster could possibly do this. He's nearly half a second quicker each lap. Josh and Ruben there battling out for the last position in the top 10, 10th and 11th that is. Go back and check on our mate from SRM, Matty Raymond in 19th, and Carl Whitty there in the front of him. But Carl's down in 30th spot, so not a great night for Carl. He had a bit of an issue, obviously. He's looks like he may have touched the wall earlier on, and we see him going backwards. And here's a nice little battle between from 16th up to 12th, that is there. So a nice little battle. So we'll go back up the front here. We can definitely see that gap isn't getting any smaller, but as I speak, it just now comes down to under a second It's 0.8 of a second behind. Josh Schultz again dropping another spot. He's now gone down, dropped to 5th place. And Paul Drady and Denny G will be the next trucks that will catch Jai for that position. Back up the front, we're now down to half a second gap between Jones and Foster. And Dyson now up in the 3rd spot. We can see there now it's under that gap is right now closed right up, and we can see Foster making the move underneath into turn 1. So Foster has been able to take the race lead back, with Jones now in 2nd, Dyson still in 3rd, Luke Trahere in 4th, Paul Drady in 5th. Now we're under 20 laps to go, so it's going to be now a sprint race. And as we can see, Foster is already starting to pull gap on Jones. So by the looks of it, unfortunately, Jones may be the bridesmaids again tonight in these trucks. I'll go back and check on Paul Drady and Denny G. Still there fighting for 5th and 6th. Josh Schultz now back to 7th. Darren McKenzie in 8th position. Brenton Henderson in 8th position. And Josh Mickelmore in the red truck there rounds out your top 10. You are 127 of Jack Barrett there. He's down in 31st place, 3 laps down. So not a night for him to come out for the trucks, but nevertheless he's still out there circulating and getting some good points. Matty Ray and Kobe Jordan there, and Perry Anazakis battling out for 16th, 17th and 18th. .15 laps to go, and Foster has now stretched that gap over his 2nd place rival, almost out to a 2nd now. And there in the background we can see Dyson closing in on Jones for 2nd place. Luke Trahere has had a good night. He's remained in the top 5, and Danny G there is 5th place, closing in on the back of Trahere. Paul Drady there in 6th place, so that's a reasonable night for him. And Josh Schultz still able to remain in the top 10, so it's going to be a night that he doesn't want to remember, but it's going to be a good night for him because he's still going to retain some good points with a top 10 finish if he can stay there. So back out front we can see Foster still got a nice lead over Jones. But now Jones is under the pressure from Dyson. That is well and truly, you can see the gap there. 12 laps to go, so Ed will be hoping that these two will battle it out a bit to allow him to get a bit more room out the front, pull a bit bigger gap. So we have to ask, yes, Sarah, Jai could definitely do with a caution right now, but what do these guys do? Should a caution come out? Remembering they have unlimited tyres, so do they dive in and put a fresh set of rubber on and go back out, or do they stay out there and try for the for position to stay where they are and get good track position for a race restart? We see here Jones has just been able to keep Dyson behind him, so 10 laps now. So Foster just needs to hold on for 10 more laps and he will have that race win. So you see there Mark Smith getting around Jai, putting Jai back to 9th. Ruben Phelps, just trying to check out where he is. We'll see if we can get to see how far back he is. He's 3 seconds back off Jai. So Jai may, well, even if Ruben does get past Jai, he'll remain in the top 10. So a salvageable night. This battle up the front between 2nd and 3rd. Foster will be rubbing his hands together, but it looks like he's going to get Dyson's made a run and to get under him, and he's done that. He's been able to do that. Is there enough laps left now for Dyson? There's nearly a second gap between, but Jones comes back at Dyson. Now down to 6 laps to go. Dyson has closed that gap to under a second now. Jones has dropped off a little bit. Luke Trahere still there in the top 5. Denny G rounds out the top 5, and Paul Drady still there in 6th. So we've just seen there in the background, Foster's been able to get some lap cars between him and Dyson. But they've all been nice to Dyson also and moved down low. That was Greg Spencer there doing the right thing, staying down low. Foster is catching lap cars. That was Norman Clark that he's just gone past. So Dyson there. Now remembering Norman does not have to move out of the road because he's only a lap down. So 4 laps to go. Dyson now gets himself around Clark. Jones is now coming up to try and get around to make this still a 3-way battle. Trahere is still battling there. Danny G is still back a little bit further. So the real race is, the question is, can Dyson get to the rear of Foster and make a battle of it with 3 laps to go? We can see there, it's a little bit of gap. It's still almost a second between these two. Danny G has had a little bit of a mix. That's allowed Paul Drady up in the fifth. Foster now. 2 laps to go. Next time by, we'll see the white flag, and if there's a caution on after that white flag comes out, the race will not end under caution. It will be checker flags that we'll see waved. So, final lap, white flag is out. So it's Foster's to throw away. He's got a second over Dyson, and then further back a second and a half back to Jones. Foster takes the checkered flag. Dyson second, Jones third, Trahere fourth. So great race there. Only the one caution. So unofficial at the moment, Ed Foster, Andrew Dyson, Ryan Jones, Luke Trahere and Paul Drady round out your top 5. Don't think Ed meant to do that one. A little bit of a mix-up. Okay, while Ed's trying to get that resolved, we might take a look at the results. So, first home, Ed Foster from Natari Autosport. Second, Andrew Dyson. Third, Ryan Jones. Fourth, Luke Trahere. Fifth, Paul Drady. Paul Drady, Mark Smith in 6th. 7th, Darren McKenzie. 8th, Danny G. Ruben Phelps in 9th. And Jai Schultz been able to save himself with a top 10 finish in 10th. Matty Raymond up there again in 11th. Perry in 12th. Andy J. Barber 13th. Jamie Nankervis 14th. 15th, Kobe Jordan. So that was a real good drive for Kobe. 16th, Josh Micklemore. 17th, Nigel Patton. 18th, Stevie Williams. Chris Finlay in 19th. Adam Terrace in 20th, Sean Dookie in 21st, Wesley Close 22nd, Brad Finley in excuse me in 23rd, Norman Clark 24th, Greg Spencer 25th, 26th was Lachlan Urquio, 27th Brett Campbell, and the voice of racing here, Carl Whitty in 28th, 29th Tristan Koch, and 30th Jack Barrett. Then over the page, 31st, Brenda Henderson, Simon Hedershide, Nigel Siddle, Gary Wellman, unfortunately for him, did not have a night. He got mixed up with that big accident. 35th, Matt Patton, Peter Gretton into 36th, 37th, Brett Hobbs. And I do not think Aiden and Kai started by the look of that. So that rounds out your finishes tonight, and we have the top three in the room with us already. So give me a minute to bring up this information. Not that one. So we'll pull Ryan Jones up into the booth. Welcome to the booth, Mr. Jones, and congratulations on third place tonight.
It's not a P2, let's go!
Mate, for a little while there, I said that you may get the bridesmaid again, but then again, you may end up with the old race win.
Yeah, it was really interesting actually. I mean, that very first run, Jai absolutely checked out, and he sort of came back to us all right as the caution came out, and he did the same on the second run, and we were all sort of playing for the long run. But I felt my long run pace was as good as Edward and Daiso's all race long. And then I pitted 5 laps before them, and that was just the difference in the end.
Yeah,
As soon as it got to me, my pace equalised.
Yeah, well, we seen Joy duck in the pits early, and you are in the pits 5 laps earlier. I actually thought you guys may have run that second stint to almost empty.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on it. I think the lap before I pitted, I thought, all right, I'm going to 70. And then I understeered through 3 and 4, and I thought, shit, I got to pit. I didn't want to understeer into the fence, and so I went for the undercut. But yeah, it's really, I saw it would come in, and I wasn't pushing the car at all. I was looking after the tyres. I wanted to be able to fight at the end, and he got me pretty easily. And then he got to half a second in front of me, and that's as far as he could go. My pace came back to him and Daiso, but
well,
so hard to pass. And
I'm not.
As well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock you, but it just sort of seemed like you gave it a little bit a nice little. There you go, Ed. You can take that inside line. And I know you don't do it on purpose. A guy with experience knows when to battle and when to let go. Did you just step aside because you knew he had too much for you, or?
Well, actually, I was along the thinking of the outside's actually the preferred lane for me in a side-by-side battle. You can pinch that car on the inside. So I was just hoping that his pace was slightly not big enough that I could pinch him down and hold him there. But whatever lane he went to, he was going to pass me with the advantage he had at that point. So it's just a case of lose as little time as I could, and almost came back to me.
Yeah, nearly come back, and I actually thought you may have been able to hold Dyson off, but again, the tyres were the difference, as you said, in the end.
Yeah, we were coming back to Ed, and I think Daiso was sitting behind me a little bit, also couldn't pass, so it's quite tricky to get a pass done. And I made a little mistake, and that's what allowed him to get underneath me, because I was pushing really hard. And then, I tried to give him a shot back towards Edward, but we were just too far back. And the laps cars were very nice, which was annoying.
Yeah, they seem to move out of everyone's road tonight. You don't often see it, but when it does, it happen, you're kind of on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, there's always a way. If I could have benefited from some laps car chaos tonight, it was never going to happen. That's the way it goes. But 80 lap green flag run to the end, and I finished within 2 seconds of the leader, which from where I was just over a year ago on tyre wear, that's a pretty good result.
Yeah, mate. Well, your best lap for the night, you weren't that far off. You did a 30.6, and it's only 200ths of a second behind the guy that did the fastest lap, and that was Dyson with a 30.4. So you've done really well in getting your speed and everything back up and looking after your tyres.
Yeah, well, we were all sorts of slow at the starts of those runs to try and save the rubber. You would have seen that the first run. Jai checked out to 2.5 seconds. I mean, Edward sat back. Jai's fastest lap would have been pretty far up there, but he's where I was a year ago, burning the stuff up too early. But sure he'll get that figured out soon, and he'll be a threat at the front at the end of the races as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, a good run, third place. Like you went down as low as 20th through the race, and but you come back and got only finished one position down from where you started. So a good night in the end.
Yep. Can't. Well, I will complain, but I can't complain about that. The search for a win continues.
Yeah. Well, as you said, mate, at least it wasn't a bridesmaid tonight. So congratulations on that. Before we let you go, just shout out to our supporters and sponsors. Although I don't think you got many sponsors there. It's more your mates.
Yeah, big shout out Ed and Daiso for the good race, and Trajera's had a little battle with him for a while as well. And you, Mark, the one man show up in the booth tonight. Good job. I'm sure it'll be fun to listen back to.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And Mum, can't forget Mum, of
No,
course.
that's it.
On.
Well, mate, thanks very much for your time, and again, congratulations on third place. And that win's not that far away. I can just feel it in my bones.
So we keep saying. Cheers, Mark.
Thanks, mate. So there you have it. We'll pull up our second place getter, Mr. Andrew Dyson. Mate, welcome back to the booth. And congratulations on second place.
Thanks, man. Thanks, dude. It was a good race.
Yeah, it was another not good battle there between you and Ed, and he just seemed to have been able to get away from you in the end.
Yeah, I couldn't quite get back. So I mean, yeah, I had to probably battle through a few cars, and he had to do the same though. So, but yeah, I just couldn't get back there.
Yeah, we Jones, you said he tried to give you a little bump and a couple of pushes there, but you was just that little bit too far back to get the run on him.
Yeah, so when I kind of passed, I remember passing Ryan through 1 and 2, sort of got the run down the front stretch sort of thing, and yeah, 1 and 2 got underneath. He backed it off really early, so I thought, oh, cool, he's happy to sit in. But then I kind of went a bit deep, or I picked up the throttle too early, so I was a bit slow on the exit. I had to kind of reset the throttle and have another go at it. And I thought, oh, gee, he's going to have a run, and he's just going to go back for his second place that he is supposed to have. I thought he was just going to run back and take it back off me again, and that was going to be it. But he decided to give me a bump anyway, and not fight it out. So that was cool. Happy with that. I was like, thanks, man.
Got to be happy with that. How did you find your tyre wear tonight? Were we down on tyre wear at the splits, or no real damage done to them?
To be honest, I didn't really talk to Steve. We didn't really chat tyre stuff tonight, but I think we both knew it was always going to be the right front tyre, and it pretty much always is when you come to this track. With most cars, they just get tight. So the right front tyre kind of cops the panting. You just got to look after that as best you can. And the guys that were doing that were the ones that you saw kind of racing each other in the top 5 sort of thing. So, Luke and Ed, Ryan, Jai probably not so much, but he was going for the pace, I think, more than anything. He was intentionally using it up. But yeah, there's a few guys that were looking after it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, a great race for tonight. P2, congratulations again. And before we let you go, shout out to your sponsors and supporters, mate.
Well, thanks to yourself for putting it on, doing it solo. Pretty tough gig, man. So I love your work. And thanks to all the guys at ANZCAR getting us together all year, every year. Love that. And thanks for the guys coming out for a race. Big field, so love that. And quick one to Simrigs, Phoenix Smokers, South Wales, and BMX Mechanical, and all the dudes at DPR. Cheers for that.
Yep. Well, mate, thanks for your time, and congratulations again, second place. And we'll see you next week, will we?
Yeah, man, I'll try and roll up. And congrats as well to Ryan and Ed for the podium. And hopefully I'll see you next week.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time, and have a good week.
Thanks, man. See ya.
So that was our second place man. Now we will bring up our race winner, Mr. Ed Foster. Congratulations, mate, on the race win tonight.
Thanks, man.
I didn't even know you were going to be out here tonight. But yeah, great race. Some great racing there between yourself, Jones, and Dyson. Some good action there with you three together. And the only person that was missing was Mr. Pearson there tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if he comes out for the trucks much. I mean, this is my first and only sort of truck race of the year. I thought being my last week of sort of availability for a little while, I'd come out and make the most of it and, run this race, and I'll try and get out for the Xfinity one as well, just to kind of, pack as much in as I can to this last week and, go from there. And like you say, the racing was really cool between myself, Daiso, Jonesy. Don't forget Jai as well. Like he was right up there and really fast at the start, and I sort of had to almost copy his line to actually make any kind of inroads in him. Like he was driving really well, like sprinting away out front. I had to figure out a way to sort of catch him. but yeah, the racing was really cool. You know, a bit of contact, which I don't mind, and everything. It was really cool. So, yeah, one race, one win. I'm happy with it. But I was all at sea, like in practice. I couldn't figure out what I was doing, and then I had to kind of copy some of the other guys who've been doing this a lot more often than me, and sort of try and copy that a little bit. And yeah, it all kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, from me, I'm going to say I know what's going on. You're stepping away for a little while, and I know that everyone out here in the sim world wishes you the best with your new endeavour that you're undertaking, and let's hope we can see you a few times while you are away doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it. Just going back to do a bit of study, just trying to sort of specialise in a I guess a more specific area of my, I guess, profession I'm qualified for. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of that, and it's like Monday nights and Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, which rules me out for just about everything. And then I just don't know how much time I'm going to have. So it's probably best to just step away, let the capable hands of other people handle the league for a little bit, and I'll sort of be there in the background and jump in for races when I can. I just don't know what my availability is going to be. So yeah, it's just got to go on the back burner, unfortunately. But hobbies have got to take a bit of a backseat to the serious stuff. Unfortunately, look at me adulting,
You better cut that out. Well, mate, before we let you go, and shout out to your sponsors and to your supporters, and general love to everyone, I guess.
Yeah, so shouts out to the rest of the Natari guys, AJD, Fully Floored, and Turbo Alpha Japan, 3 sponsors. And just a shout out to Daiso for the great racing there, and Jai and Ryan as well. Like, both of those guys have come so far in not a great deal of time. Like, I know Jonesy's put a little bit more effort into kind of the long run and the long game and everything like that, and it's really paying off for him with some good finishes, and he's a lot more, you've got a lot more confidence to run close with him now. He's really good to race with now, and Jai's just getting quicker and quicker all the time. So Daiso we know about, obviously, but those 2 guys are really coming along. So the front of the grid's in very good hands, mate, I tell you.
Yeah, definitely are, mate. Definitely is. Well, mate, thanks again for your time tonight, and congratulations on your race, your one and only truck race so far this season. It's 100% win rate for you.
Yeah, it's nice when you put it like that, isn't it? It'd be nice if I could carry that across a few more races, but no, it doesn't tend to work that way. But yeah, it's nice to get one under the belt. So, come out and enjoy it, no pressure on, and just see what you can do. So yeah, all good.
Yeah, definitely. All right, mate, we'll drop you back down into the other room, and thanks for your time, and again, congratulations on the race win.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the call, mate. Catch you.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, there you have it. We've got a little bit of a special race coming up in a few weeks, and on the 1st of July, it's the Golden Octopus Foundation race. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, come along, register. You can see the information there. There's the four car classes, and it will be a great day and for a great foundation. So that's on Saturday the 1st of July. So next week we are off to Pocono. So that's back here on Checkered Flag e-streaming. So we will see you back here for that. Some great racing coming up. Of course, the Thunder Series on Wednesday night. I just can't remember 100% where they are. And then, of course, the Cup cars on Thursday night. They are both over on Performance e-streaming. So be sure to jump in and have a look at that. Next Saturday night, the Weekend Warriors are back here on Checkered Flag e-streaming, and the Memorial Day race from here, same place as this at Charlotte, a 350 mile race. So it'll be interesting to see what some of the deliveries are that they come out with. So from me, flying solo here tonight. I hope I've done a good enough job to bring you guys back again. Stay safe, and we will see you hopefully on Wednesday night for the Thunders over on Performance E Streaming. Good night and stay safe.